So, Tenet is coming out next week, the new film by Christopher Nolan. Shall we do a little countdown of the best Christopher Nolan films? Roll the titles. Hi guys, it is Mr. Scotty Pie here, and I am back for another video. As I said in the intro, today we're going to be looking at Christopher Nolan. He's got his new film coming out next week, Tenet, which I am very, very much excited to watch. Already got my cinema ticket booked for the day of release, so do look out for my review for that one, which would hopefully be the 27th. I should hope to get it out by, but obviously it depends what time the film finishes and what time I get to film and record. But please do hit the subscribe button so you can look out for that. While you're there hitting that subscribe button, why not consider hitting the like button while you're there? It's not too early to do so. So, Christopher Nolan, obviously in the last decade or two, has gone on to become one of the biggest names in cinema, directing many blockbuster films. It seems like anything at the moment he touches turns into a box office like moneymaker. IMDb has shown that he's full-length film credits about 11 or 12 films. I didn't want to do a video going through all these films at the moment. If you want to see that, please do let me know in the comments. Your likes will show me that this is something that you want to see, so I can do that. If there's any other directors or filmmakers or actors you want me to do some reviews on, also let me know in the comments. Video ideas are always helpful. And obviously I want to know what you want to see. Also, while I'm here, let me also let you know about a competition that we're running at the moment. We're running a competition to win a £10 Amazon gift card. All you have to do for that one is there's a link in description for a video, competition video. Just watch that video. It will tell you what you got to do and how it can be entered. While that video is still live, that competition is up for running. If that video is being deactivated, that means competition's over, and look out for future ones. So anyway, back to this video. As I said, I'm just doing the top 5 of my favourite Christopher Nolan films, which was quite difficult to do because, as I said, everything he touches is absolute gold. But I thought 5 when I was to keep this video at a reasonable length. So, obviously, this is all my opinion. You, obviously, I'm assuming you're going to have different top 5s than I do. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what your top 5 are. I do respond to all comments, so let's start a conversation down there. So let's jump into my number 5. So, number 5 for me is my number 5 is Dunkirk. This is his last film that he released. Obviously, with Tenet coming out soon. His previous one was Dunkirk. This tells a true story of a battle in World War I, which happened on the Dunkirk beaches in France. The British soldiers were trapped on the Dunkirk bridge with enemies all around them with no chance of escape. So all the British boats and people, anyone who owned boats, travelled over the channel and rescued as many soldiers as they could. It's a fantastic story. It's very well told. It's beautifully shot. And who knew that putting Harry Styles in a film, the singer of One Direction, wouldn't actually be a horrible idea, because he wasn't that bad in it. I thought it was a great story. It told those different tales. It told story of soldiers on the beach trying to survive. It's told a story of some civilians who owned a boat. It told a story of someone who was trapped in the sea, a soldier was trapped in the sea, and it also told a story of an RAF pilot. All the stories were told at different points, but all accumulated in the same time, which was very cleverly shot. It looked gorgeous. Incredible cast as always. Obviously, you had like Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, as I said, Harry Styles, Kenneth Branagh, always an incredible cast when it comes to Christopher Nolan. He knows how to cast his films. As I said, I thought it was an absolutely fantastic film, one I loved. The reason it's so low down, well, not really low down, but it's number 5, is just because I think this one has the least rewatchability factor. I saw it at cinemas, and even though I know I will rewatch this film, at present I'm yet to go out, buy the Blu-ray, buy the DVD or whatever, any format, and rewatch it. I know that time will happen, but at the moment it's been about 2 years, and I've still not got that need to see it again. So that's the only reason it's so low. I absolutely adored it, and I will rewatch this film, but it's not got like some of these films that I love to watch over and over again. So that was my number 5. That was Dunkirk. Jumping into my number 4. That one is Batman Begins. So Batman Begins obviously is the first of the Dark Knight trilogy, which is a story of Batman. Obviously Batman Begins. Absolutely love this film. This was the first Christopher Nolan film I ever actually saw. I remember seeing it at cinemas with a bunch of friends from school. As soon as I saw it, I was in love with it. Obviously, I grew up on the 80s Batman films, which starred obviously Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, and George. His mind's completely slipped his name's completely slipped my mind. I even said my mind, it's not my name, and that even made no sense. George Clooney, got there in the end. I almost gave up on it then. I literally had to give up. George Clooney, which to be fair, it's a film you're happy to give up on. It's pretty poor. When I was a kid, I watched that a lot, and now looking back at it now, I don't know why. But anyway, and obviously Batman Begins came out, and then we got a new style of Batman. Gone were the days of camp Batman. Even in the darker Tim Burton adaptations, it still had an element of camp and fanatical about it. It had some fantasy. While the Dark Knight trilogy was very much grounded in realism, nothing was done that can't really be achieved in real life, and it made it real and gritty. It felt like it was a story of a vigilante rather than a superhero, and I felt that with a lot of the film. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic film. And this is one that, obviously, I've said Dunkirk didn't have much rewatchability. I feel Batman Begins does. I've seen it at the cinemas 2 or 3 times since, as I have seen it on rewatches. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say myself here. I've seen it on rewatches before each of the new Batman film comes out. Why is my speaking so poor today? What is going on with me? Before the new Batman, I said Batman as well. Oh my god. I'm going to keep all this in. I don't care. I think this is funny. So when Dark Knight came out and Dark Knight Rises came out, my local cinema, Cineworld, usually show a run of them. So you can watch Batman Begins followed by Dark Knight, and then Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. I've always loved doing that. If they're not doing that at cinemas, I'll do that in my own time. And whenever a sequel comes out, I'll make sure the day before I rewatch the originals, so I can obviously fresh up on it, and so I can pick up all the nuances and nod back to those films. And so yeah, The Dark Knight was an absolutely brilliant film. Obviously starring Michael Caine, Christian Bale, Morgan Freeman, Cillian Murphy. As I said, Liam Neeson as well. Said Chris Nolan knows how to cast, and obviously when Batman comes, you go, because Batman's always such a huge film, and you know it's going to smash at the box office, so actors usually flock towards it anyway. So my number 3 is, I reckon this might grind some people that it's number 3, or not my whole camera then. This is, honestly, this video, can it get any more unprofessional if I tried? I should stop and refilm it at this point, but I'm 9 minutes in, so hope you're having fun. So my number 3 Christopher Nolan film is Inception. Inception is obviously the story of the idea that you can plant ideas or steal ideas from someone by putting them in a dream state, and with a dream within a dream within a dream. So that's the general premise. It's quite a confusing premise at times, but it's done so well that as long as you're following along closely, you can pick the story up quite easily. Um, it's obviously a very actiony film. It's got some fantastic action scenes, car chases, um, fights, shooting scenes. It's got a fantastic storyline. It's very clever. I thought this was an absolutely astonishing film. I saw it at the cinemas and I fell in love with it almost instantly. I saw it twice at cinemas in 2 weeks because I saw it and I was like, I want to watch that again. So I dragged another friend who hadn't seen it and said, come watch this, you'll love it. And it is a fantastic film. The reason I think people are upset with my position is I know it's such a popular film, especially in modern society. The idea of inception and dreams within a dreams is something that is memed a lot and referenced a lot and become part of popular culture. But for me, this isn't about a bad film. This is just me saying Chris Nolan has better films, bigger and better films, in my personal opinion. Inception obviously stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Michael Caine, Tom Hardy, Ellen Page, Cillian Murphy again for the 3rd film in a row. Obviously, last time I've said Cillian Murphy, so that's, if you're not a Cillian Murphy fan, so that's a plus for you. If you are, I'm very sorry that no more Cillian Murphy. Is this actually Michael Caine in all of these as well? What did we have? No, he wasn't in Dunkirk. He does like to pick his actors and stick with them, which isn't a bad thing. Obviously, Michael Caine's in a few. Tom Hardy's in a few. Cillian Murphy's obviously in a few. Which is brilliant because they're top level actors. But yeah, so it's obviously another incredible film. It's got twists and turns that you're going to see coming. It's beautiful, it's brilliant, and it's fantastic. So yeah, that's Inception, number 3. My number 2 spot, I struggled with my number 2, my number 1, as these 2 films are both films that I adore beyond belief. But one of them I've rewatched over and over and over and over again, and just love as a film. I love it as a concept and love it as everything else. And the other film I adore to bits, but I don't think it has the same rewatchability factor. And I'll explain that. My number 2 Chris Nolan film is Interstellar. Interstellar tells a story of basically the world's kind of ending. Nothing with anything to do. It's basically the Earth's come at its time. It's just the end of its run. So basically, humans are trying to find a way off the planet. So the main character basically travels off world to try and find other inhabitable worlds, and it tells that story. It's an absolutely beautiful story. It's a story that I'm so emotionally attached to, even after all these years, or even 5 or 6 years since it's been released, and it's one I'm still emotionally attached to. I have rewatched this film 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times maybe. I've never really counted, but a lot of times. And it's one that gets me emotionally. It's obviously action. It's got the thriller, it gets me tense, it gets me interested. It's another one that has an incredibly interesting storyline. It's like Inception, that it's one that can get confusing unless you're paying attention for the whole film. It has callbacks throughout the whole film, which are so sublimely done. It's seamless. It's clever. And obviously, again, with the cast, Michael Caine, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I was trying to think of someone else, but that's much of the main cast. Sublime cast as always. Obviously, Matt Damon's in it as well, but you know, he's only a little bit, so he can be forgotten. But yeah, it's another sublime film. So the one I'm emotionally attached to. I love it. It's beautiful. So obviously, my number 1 spot, if you haven't guessed by now, my number 1 Christopher Nolan film, The Dark Knight. Obviously, the sequel to Batman Begins. Obviously, there was 2 sequels to the full trilogy, but this is the second in the trilogy. This is the film where he goes head-to-head against the Joker. I I think this will be a lot of people's number ones. Obviously, this film pierced popular culture and took it over by storm with Heath Ledger's adaptation of the Joker. In my opinion, my favourite adaptation, but obviously very close with Joaquin Phoenix's. Maybe I'll do a video on a rank of the Jokers. If you want to see that, drop it in the link below. I'm a huge fan of the Joker. I think he's the greatest supervillain of all time. So I love the Joker to bits. And I said I think Heath Ledger is the best, and I'll explain why. Because Heath Ledger's Joker isn't the, oh, I'm evil, take a beating evil. He's more of a modern day terrorist who doesn't think he's doing wrong. If you watch any of my videos before and talk about villains, a villain that has motives that you can understand is a high level villain for me. One where you can say, I don't agree, but I understand why he believes it. That's what makes a good villain, because that gives him motive, and motive's everything. It's an absolutely astonishing film in total. The acting sublime. Heath Ledger absolutely destroys it as the Joker, absolutely phenomenal, and because of how good he is, he makes everybody else pick up their performances. I think this is the best performance by Christopher Bale in Batman films. Michael Caine is best. Maggie Gyllenhaal is on the best. I think because of Heath Ledger smashed it so much, he made everybody else have to pick up their game so they didn't get left behind, and they all do amazingly. Which is obviously what you want. Everything about this film is amazing. It's dark and gritty, and it tells a story that it's scary as well as exciting. It's everything you want from a film, and a superhero film, you can forget it. You forget what it is, a superhero film. You forget that because it's so grounded in reality. Like, the Joker hasn't got any superpowers. He's just a psycho. He's a terrorist, and that's all he is. He's someone who got away with too much power, and nobody able to stop him. And it's done sublimely, and the directing is fantastic. So that's my Christopher Nolan top 5. Christopher Nolan obviously has such a broad range in films. He never does one style. He's got the superheroes, he's got the sci-fi, he's got the war films, and obviously next one's going to be a sci-fi action film, more of an action film than anything, and a spy thriller. He can do anything and does it at such a top level. So that's my top 5 pick. Let me know what yours is in the comments below. As I said, I respond to all comments, so please do drop it in there and let's start a conversation. Please do hit that subscribe button. As I said, there'll be a review for Tenet coming up hopefully next week when I see the film. If you did enjoy this video, please do consider hitting this like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, movie talk, countdowns, video essays. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. My name is Mr. Scotty Pie, and I am out of here. And thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you'd like to drop a like, a subscribe, share, hit the bell notification, that would be amazing. And you will see on this side of my head, you will see another video which YouTube has recommended just for you. And on this side of my head, you will see a logo to subscribe to the channel. If you want to hit that, I will love you forever. Goodbye.